And welcome back to TVI episode 180. What a lovely number.
180.
The penultimate episode.
Second season.
Moving to season 3. 60 episodes a season.
The cliffhanger.
Previously, like you did a rundown of what we've talked about in the past.
Previously, pedos, and pedos.
It is quite pedo heavy, this podcast.
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's why we've got
This
Josh in.
We were going to do this in a car park outside Lidl, but we thought best to bring
you.
that video you did with bloody what's the sketch you did?
Oh, Chris Washington.
With Chris Washington, yeah,
Jack
fucking
Kirkland.
that is so funny. If people haven't seen it, it'll be on your social media somewhere.
Yeah, it's basically like the radio giveaway.
Yeah,
door to door.
it feels like that postcode lottery type advert. You
Yeah.
know, who's that knocking at the door? And it's like the people knock at your door, and then obviously the guy thinks it's a pedo hunters, and he starts. They're like,
Oh,
let's
that's
give him a
so
prize.
funny.
People started doing that in real
That's
life.
just time to move that over a bit.
Yeah. People started doing that in real life. A few of my mates, like if you're waiting to meet somebody,
I did that to
Yeah.
someone
Yeah,
not long
just
ago
when
up north.
you're here to meet a 50-year-old girl
But he was off work as
Yeah.
well. And
with stress.
yeah, and so he was like, no. And I thought he was playing along. And it was like really good. But he was like, genuinely, I can't have that go out. I blagged a sick day.
There's that thing in the World Cup, wasn't there, recently? The guy, he sat next to a woman he wasn't supposed to be sat next
Oh
to.
God.
And he went on the big screen and he was like kissing her and that.
Oh fuck.
That's such a bad move from him, though, isn't it, to do
Yeah,
that? I
come
mean, to
on.
cheat on his wife is the main bad move.
But if you're gonna do it,
You got to be good at it. innit?
yeah.
At least put some face paint on.
Exactly.
just
At least black
anything.
up, mate.
that would be what I'd sort of, because obviously that must have been a dream trip and everything at the World Cup.
Yeah.
What I'd sort of down at that is
Why would he do
on
that?
his trip. I know I'm sort of feeling like
Take
I'm
his side
taking his
thing.
side,
Yeah.
but you know he's really let himself
Fallen
down there.
soldier.
Yeah, I know.
Let's have a moment's silence,
Oh,
lest
God.
we forget. Nagging bird at home.
But anyway,
Cheating is wrong.
So, cheating is wrong, but you know who are we to judge?
Yeah. Who are you to judge? If you're sighting outside in the car.
Waiting on the stairs. I'll be out in 90 minutes. Yeah, you just behave yourself.
You just make yourself look pretty, yeah?
I'm watching The Sopranos. I've mentioned it on a couple of episodes. I'm watching The Sopranos. Have you ever watched The Sopranos?
It's shamefully no, I haven't.
Well, I basically
you
I
should
watched.
get on it.
I watched the first
it's all
maybe
right.
2 seasons. Were back in the day when it first came out, and then I've never got around to sort of finish and carrying on. So I went back and started season 2. I'm now at the end of season 3, and there is a reason I'm saying they've got that thing. The mafia had the gumar, which is like it's almost like you're allowed to have a mistress or multiple mistresses if you're in the mafia, and your wife has to sort of approve it.
Accept it.
Yeah.
I think being in the mafia is stressful enough.
I know.
Yeah, but I suppose the fact that it's allowed takes a little.
But having
stress
to
out
turn
of
your
it.
phone upside down when you're at home.
That is one of the things that makes you well paranoid if you're with somebody
And their phone.
and their phone beeps and they just do that.
I
And you're
know.
like, wait, what have I missed?
It's
But
on charge next one whilst they're sleeping in
Yeah,
their
yeah.
pocket.
in their pajama pocket, you're like,
Big old dick pics popping up. Much thicker than yours.
but anyway, so welcome back, everyone. Welcome to the
Welcome.
studio, Josh. Down from where do you live in the West Midlands?
West Midlands, yeah.
Lovely part of the
Bang
world.
in the middle of the country, yeah. It's great.
What part?
It's a town called Atherstone.
Okay. Where's
Check it out, guys. What street?
It's like near Coventry, Birmingham.
Okay,
way,
yes,
so yeah.
yes. It's a nice part of the world. And do you come to London much?
Yeah, I come to London loads at the minute, and it was growing on me, and now it's not.
Well, I was going to say, because it's a funny one,
Yeah.
London. People either love it or you
Yeah.
sort of struggle with
Or you're
it.
jealous of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was initially kind of quite stereotypically anti-London. It's
Yeah,
blah,
yeah,
blah,
yeah.
blah, blah. But then I was like, oh, it's got a charm to it, and now
Thank
I'm
you.
here so much like, oh,
It's
nah,
full on,
not
isn't
for
it? It's
me,
a
yeah.
full on. It is time of year as well, man. Have
Yeah.
you been in town much recently?
Not really.
It's
Not
just
much.
chaos. Not even like, I'm not talking sort of walking down Oxford Street Christmas shopping. I'm talking just everywhere.
What, immigrants, you mean? Oh, sorry. I didn't. I thought we were going.
Yeah, you know, fuck, it doesn't look like London, though. What is it? Okay, what was this?
London,
cardboard?
Easton, what's going on? Not really, guys. You're all welcome.
What have you been up to, everyone? For anyone watching, I'm wearing an incredibly loud Christmas jumper.
Where's it from?
It's from Lidl. It is. I mean, I bought this in the middle aisle. Do you ever go Lidl?
Only in Edinburgh, actually.
Right.
But I
That's
don't
a long
travel
way
up
to
there
drive.
once a week.
Just to get some cheap coffee pods.
Family in the car. We're going Lidl Edinburgh again.
It
everyone.
does offset the savings, actually.
Yeah.
Only a 12-hour commute. But I don't like Lidl.
You don't?
I don't. I find it a bit. I like Aldi, but Lidl, I find the pricing isn't. It's not the right.
No,
price.
it's not your classic. Just put it right underneath there.
Yeah.
Would that not be just that particular Lidl? Or
No,
all of them
all
are like
Lidl's
that?
basically the middle aisle. But if you go normal, like normal shelves, are all right. If you go to the fridge, just the price is underneath where it should be. In the middle section,
You know it's going to be quite cheap though, so if you need it, just stick it in a trolley.
yeah, that is true. I mean, it's a cost of living crisis, mate. You can't just be chucking things in willy nilly.
Yeah, fair play.
But it's that middle aisle is famous for its random selection of shit, and at the minute, because it's coming up to Christmas, it is next level. Like, there's no rhyme nor reason. It's it is. You can buy a fucking angle grinder next to a Christmas jumper, next to a ladder
For the in-laws at Christmas.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Like, it's that thing where I lived in Northwest London, there wasn't a Lidl nearby. But since I've moved round the corner from a Lidl.
Yeah.
That was the main selling point of the flat. And so it's just sort of my local shop.
Yeah,
and I've grown to love it.
Put in a couple of shifts.
I'm doing the warehouse out back.
I stick to what I even hate it if I go to a different. So if I go to Aldi where I live, I go to a different
Aldi's
Aldi.
all right. That's Aldi doesn't feel as
Aldi's
degenerate.
better
as
than Lidl, I think.
I think so.
It doesn't feel as like definitely Lidl has an element of like you're in the shit.
Yeah.
You're mixing with a fucking some nutters in Lidl.
yeah.
But I don't like it when I go to a different supermarket and it's laid out differently.
I know.
It's like, oh, this is like parallel.
But I suppose with Lidl, at least the middle aisle is chaos.
Yeah.
And at either side of it, it's pretty self-explanatory. But I always judged it harshly. And like literally, if you'd have told me 6 months ago before I moved back to South West London, I'd be sitting here wearing a Lidl jumper, I would have nutted you.
They were selling Greggs ones in Primark.
I saw them the other day. I almost bought a pair of Greg's Crocs, which is fucking what a sentence that is. But they sell like. And it's that thing. I bought this because it's Christmas and I wanted a Christmas jumper. And this is so dumb.
Yeah.
But it's Christmas. But the Greg's branded clothes you get in Primark, I don't like that sort of weird. I don't mind if you buy a Nike jumper and it's got Nike on it, that's fine. Adidas, right? But I feel weird about wearing a Greg's thing where you're basically doing free advertising for Greg's, right? You're like a walking billboard.
Says him with a Lidl jumper.
No, I'm saying. But what's wrong with all these people walking around with brands on their fucking clothes?
Should have got Lidl on there again.
You have kind of got like teaching assistant vibes.
Yes. But I just think, it's just weird. I just feel like it's
Well, it's the irony
it's a
of
bit
the
of a-
Greggs thing, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. Whereas this, genuinely, I would not wear this except for Christmas, right?
And on camera when it's not Christmas.
Well, no, it is. We're in the Christmas
Oh,
season.
yeah, we're filming this in January.
But what I mean is the Greg's one. It's like when they do sort of a, like Coke jumpers, Coca-Cola in Primark.
yeah.
You're like, hang on, but
Next used to do that, wasn't it? It was like Coca-Cola stuff.
you're advertising Coke.
Harley
They don't-
Davidson stuff.
Yeah.
But that's like any brand, though, isn't it?
But at least then you're buying that brand because you like that brand. If you're buying Adidas, you like Adidas.
Yeah.
But if you're buying that jumper, like I don't like Greg's enough. It is pure irony. It's people being like, "Ooh, look at my Greg's jumper."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
If you were on the way home now and you needed something from Lidl, would you feel weird going in there
Dressed like this. Yeah, I definitely would.
Biggest fan.
Fucking
Super fan.
yeah, 100%. I actually, do you know what? I do need to go to Lidl on my own because I think my daughter dropped her doll in Lidl yesterday.
Dropped a pill. She needs some water.
So I need to go in and check if it's in the lost
She
property.
needs some Vicks and some water. And some new headphones.
But I've got to go in to ask if they've got the thing. But it does. I'm gonna look like a fucking plum.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Or should I go to other supermarkets in it? Like it's an
You'll
away
have
day.
it- no, you'll have a jacket on.
Yeah, I've got a jacket on. Yeah. I'll do it up. I will hide it.
It's made me want to get one, actually.
$7.99, mate. Weird shape.
Oh, fuck
though.
that then.
The shape of it's so badly made.
Yeah, there's no kind of like seam. Oh,
No.
It's like,
The seam. Yeah, it's the seams too far back on the shoulders. It's weirdly shaped around the sort of waist. It's not. It's a.
Really, what fine tailors you would have thought they would have been. It's not Savile Row they
Yeah,
were.
I'm taking it to my tailor to fix it up a bit.
Did you get measured up?
they do trainers as well, don't they?
Do they?
They do. They also do their own version of Crocs. Have you got a pair of Crocs?
I have. I haven't. No.
Have you got a pair
No, I
of Crocs?
haven't.
I've got a
Did-
knockoff pair, and they are very comfortable. I will say it.
I've
But
got a pair of sliders.
Yeah, I'm
They're the Roadman Crocs.
I'm a
aren't they?
sort of against a slider.
I've been busting the white socks with them and stuff.
Yeah, it's fucking. I'm not into it. Are you a slider man?
I've got a pair of sliders I've had since I was 16.
I mean, that's allowed.
That's a sporty thing,
Yeah,
though, isn't
yeah.
it? I bet. Football.
Yeah, well, kind of.
Would you
just-
go out in a slider and a sock?
No.
No.
I'd pop out to like.
To the yeah, that's allowed. But I'm talking about you wouldn't go out. Would you go out?
Clubbing.
I mean,
Not out
too.
in the Mickey
I mean-
Flanagan sense. I mean, just would you sort of go out to meet a friend for coffee? wearing
I would,
sliders?
yeah.
I'm
I mean, it hasn't just like I've blended it. I've just gone a little bit further each day with it. I didn't think I would when I got
Yeah.
them, but now
You're gonna
I,
be wearing them on stage.
Yeah,
New Year's
yeah.
Eve.
yeah.
So they're awful. If you ever see one now, people wearing them, what? You remember Toms?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I bought a pair in Edinburgh. Yeah, they weren't
Yeah.
that walking in Edinburgh as well. They're not like walking
No.
shoes, are they?
An espadrille is a holiday shoe. That's
Yeah.
it. You can't, I refuse to accept people
I got,
wearing espadrilles anywhere else.
I got roped into a tug of war once during it, and two of my team were wearing Toms.
Child
you ain't-
custody
You're
battle.
You're not winning that.
It's one of these like family like fun day like
Yes.
fate things, and there's a tug of war on, and they needed another team, so me and my mates were getting stuck in it. And one of the lads, Tom's, because it's like a cork base.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It was pulling, and it kind of the cork base ended up like on the top of
Oh
it.
my god!
Just tore his shoes up.
I once went to a fun day family thing with a friend's family, and I got roped into a dragon boat race down the Thames. It's absolutely true. I had no idea. We were just going because it was a fundraiser for my mate's dad's work. And next thing they were like, "Oh, there's going to be a dragon boat race." It was in this like cool bit by the Thames, and then they were just like, "Oh, anyone can take part. Who wants to get in a dragon boat?" So I was like 13 or something. Went thinking it'd be a bit of funny to eat a hot dog and have a freaking
3 days at
Coke.
sea.
Next thing, literally, I'm with loads of like ex-policemen.
Somali
in a dragon
pirates.
boat,
Yeah, well
like going like down
these other teams they kind of enter every year.
Oh god!
And then somebody just pulled out on the day, and it was like me, my mate. I think my mate's girlfriend was in the team.
Oh, fucking hell.
Did you win?
No, we were instantly out.
Have you
'Cause
watched
they're Toms, mate.
Squid Game?
Yes.
Does that tug? That's not.
They're making
no
a real
spoilers.
one, aren't they?
Yeah, but it's obviously not going to be like Squid Game.
Murdered.
It's just going to be like a reality
They
TV
should find a
show.
little country where it's lawless, like Venezuela.
I don't think Venezuela's lawless.
There'll be some.
I took a stab at Venezuela.
Are there any countries that are lawless?
You know, where the government has been overrun.
I'd say somewhere like the Democratic Republic of Congo is probably like one of the closest you could get to, from
I
my working knowledge of fucked countries. Isn't that always the one that comes out the worst quality of life on earth because of the?
Oh really?
Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah.
Like it's just always fucked.
What,
And,
in Congo?
Yeah.
I think Colombia's lawless, it says.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, they should
Not
do it.
technically, though. I mean, they've got a government and coppers, isn't they?
Yeah.
Still need a TV license over there. You can't.
Yeah. I mean, it's completely lawless, but you can't watch BBC without a license.
Somalia.
Somalia, actually, Somalia would be a good place for
What
Squid
is-
Games.
What, it's literally lawless?
No, but it's just in terms of like general day-to-day law.
I know,
law.
so, like, Colombia would be the cartels are running it, but
Yeah,
really,
the government's
you still get a parking ticket.
Yeah,
probably.
that's it. It's the having a corrupt.
It's corruption's different, isn't it? When it's literally lawless.
Yeah,
you, can,
yeah. I think it's hard. I think it'd be hard.
you could
to find
take someone on
someone
holiday, murder them. Some ideas.
You go.
to Somalia. I think my suspicions will be aroused if I've been invited on a one-to-one trip to
Somalia?
Little
Yeah,
weekend
maybe.
getaway.
on a stag.
There was a period of time. I
Where's you having his
remember-
stag party? Somalia.
There was a period of time where it was weirdly. I just remember in the wake of like when the Afghanistan calmed down after like towards the end of the occupation,
Beautiful
the war.
war.
There was a period of time where it was, I can't remember the name of it. It's a type of tourism where you go to dangerous places
Pedos.
purposely. So like there was like I read a thing about a guy.
Oh, what? Like someone went to what happened with the radiation place, Chernobyl. Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Someone who went there? The comic. What's his name?
Ian Smith.
Ian Smith went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he did a show about it.
Yeah.
Fucking went out there.
But no, but there's like you could go
He's
to like
bald now,
places where it's super dangerous for a Western tour.
He's got a tail.
He looks like Neo in the Matrix. He comes out of the Matrix, no eyebrows. But
Next year he's doing a show about looking like an egg.
Like a worm.
His legs have become one.
Have you seen Chernobyl, the show?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, that's one hard.
That was great, wasn't it?
It's so
intense.
tense
Yeah.
and full on. But
That's
yeah.
I suppose that's what it should be.
Yeah. It shouldn't be a sitcom.
Yeah.
Slapstick.
Oh, his hair's falling off.
But yes, are you Christmassy? Yeah, let's go. We'll talk Christmas. People have mentioned it on the WhatsApp group. We've got some questions when we get to in a sec.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I get Christmassy super like I'm talking like mid-November.
You're boozing every
Yeah,
morning.
I mean, when December starts and I start my advent calendar, I get super Christmassy at about 7:30
Not
a.m.
what it is.
Today I had to drink a shot of mezcal. Have you ever had that?
What's that?
It's basically a smoked tequila. It's not good. It's horrific. But especially when you're down in it at 8:30 a.m.
Do you have water first?
I have water. Yeah, the moment I wake up, I drink water.
And coffee?
No coffee. I normally do it pre-coffee and breakfast.
So you have coffee afterwards?
Yes.
Okay, that must be heavy on your belly.
It's all right, you know. It's like I don't think it's as
Belly's
unhealthy
probably
as
used to it now. It's made
I
of
don't
leather.
know, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, maybe it is
I
a bit.
suppose your wet brain helps, doesn't it? Like,
My wet brain.
do you know what wet brain is?
No.
Where you have, maybe I'm around too many dying alcoholics, but where you get wet brain and there's no going back. It's like frying an egg. It's actually dehydrated brain from alcohol.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what hangover.
And you
is.
get like.
Yeah, it's just dehydrated.
Well, hangover is technically withdrawal.
But wet
isn't
brain
it?
is you go. It's like irreversible. It's like tragic.
Right.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
Or
Are
funny.
you telling me I've got it? It's broken the news to me.
Does he not know?
But it's, to be honest, like it's fine. You know, I'm sort of. I think a drink in the morning. I'm sounding like I'm justified, but no. I'm doing it for
Perks
fun.
you up.
Sat there in a little jumper justifying drinking before
Saying
night.
people shouldn't advertise
I'm
brands.
having one a day. Lidl are going to call up and ask me, like, they're going to try and green screen out my jumper. But I think, you know, if you're having a drink in the morning and then you're carrying on for the day, that's a problem. If you're having one,
Might
for
not be that
breakfast-
bad. Yeah, it picks you up, gets the blood going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and
Out
also-
of your penis.
out of my arsehole.
Gets the blood and the urine mixed up.
Have you ever weed blood?
Nah, thank God.
I've done it once, and that was in January. I talked about when I went to the doctors thinking I had prostate cancer, and it turns out I had some inflamed fucking nerve or something. It went down within a week. But the first time it's the only time in my life I've seen blood come out my willy.
Okay, no.
Gladly.
I sometimes put blood in it. That's different.
Yeah,
isn't
you
it?
just try and drink it through the end.
It's like a straw.
But yeah, I saw blood in my wee, and I just instantly thought I'm dead.
Yeah.
And then it was fine. They checked
do
my
that, though.
prostate, they checked everything. It was totally just a little. They reckon it might have been like sometimes you can like sort of cut a nerve or something inside.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. But it can happen. It wasn't like nothing had happened aggressively.
You know when you get a little thing like that, do you ever a part you want it to get really bad just to see? Like you ever had like a rash, you think I'd love this to go really bad.
Just go all rash all over your
just
body.
to see how bad it can.
No, I
as
don't
a
have
kid-
that. I want it gone so quickly.
As a kid, I used to
I
give
want it on my eyeballs.
I used to give myself impetigo.
What's that?
How'd you give yourself it?
I'd go in the garden, get my hands dirty, and I remember just scratching my face until I
really?
got an infected face.
It's
And
terrible.
I think I wanted a day off school.
Right.
Oh, I did that stuff.
Yeah.
The
I used to
day
just
off.
bunk.
your own-
I used to bunk.
Get
That's
your
all
own
I did.
towel.
I remember
everything.
I wanted because my mates who had spots as teenagers, they'd get into the clubs. I thought it made them a bit older.
Right.
Yeah.
So I remember trying to get spots, but it didn't work.
What are you talking about?
So I'm thinking that's mad, but I did like virtually
Yeah,
the same,
yeah.
but to get acne.
We had a thing at school. Do you ever have a thing? We had this weird phase where everyone used to scratch their.
Chicken scratch.
Yeah, that chicken
Yeah.
scratch thing.
Yeah.
I had a
And,
big old one there
and
with
you,
a
yeah, you
penny
used
or
to do
something.
it, and it would get all fucked
Or
up
you
and
try and
infected, and
give-
that was the game.
You
That
should
was
try and
it.
give yourself a bruised chin. You'd squeeze your chin. You had to flick it so many times and squeeze it again.
Ugh,
It's-
horrible. Did you ever play cards for raps? Was that a thing?
Oh,
you
well,
did
where
at
they
Gosford?
whack your
So
knuckles.
you'd play cards, and whoever loses the hand, you'd get the whole pack, and you have to just go, and you'd like literally take your knuckles off.
Yeah,
So there was a
yeah,
period
yeah.
of time when we were like 15, where everyone just had no knuckles on their
Oh,
hands.
it's mad the stuff you used to. I tell you what was really painful. You wouldn't think like an empty bottle of Coke, like
Yeah.
a plastic bottle. You know the nubs at the end.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
on the top of your hair. Really
I
painful.
do kids
Kids
do
are
this now.
fucking
What was
nuts, man.
Yeah.
Lucas, you're obviously young. How old are you again? 20,
I'm 22.
22. So you're much closer to. Oh, you
Do you
know what
self-harm?
schools are like. Yeah, was self-harm common?
We didn't
Not
know.
in the sad case of doing it at home
But
on
doing
your own.
stuff like that.
How self-harming as a group,
We had
the
the
good way.
yeah, we had the Kylie Jenner lip challenge. Do you remember that?
No.
Oh, it's like a thing where people would like put like a bottle or something to their lips and they'd like suck really hard for like a minute and then their lips would get all puffed.
Open their eyes, it's your cock.
they'd have like
Open their eyes, your dad's doing his zip up.
they'd
Not
have,
your
like,
dad, like whoever's.
someone's dad. Yeah,
So-
they'd have like huge lips because you remember when like Kylie Jenner had like
Yeah.
the lip thing. It was just fashionable.
But how
to have
does it?
big
I don't
lips.
understand. So if I did this with a bottle, I could make my lips big.
Yeah, if you took it off, if you just like had the hole and you like suck and you like.
So while your lips are in the bottle,
Yeah.
it's big.
Oh, you
but-
put your lips in the bottle.
Yeah,
Put your lips in the bottle, you
Used to
suck.
do it,
Oh, I
used,
see.
used to do it with the
Leave it
glass,
like
and
a minute.
you could do it with the glass and get like a
Yeah, the
brilliant-
funny
Yeah,
sort
yeah.
of Homer Simpson. Line.
We used to flip a coin, and whoever loses, we had a big punt, like an 18-ounce boxing glove, and we used to like crack each other in the face.
That's like the natural progression,
Yeah.
isn't it?
We used
Starts
to-
with just
It's
doing that
funny.
with cards, ends up ironing people out.
It's quite hard to hit your friend.
Yeah,
it's
totally.
quite hard.
We used to do a thing where we'd do boxing as kids, like on our knees. My mate had one pair of boxing gloves, so with
Someone's bare knuckle.
You had one glove each, and then
Oh.
a bare knuckle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the bare knuckle you can only hit in the stomach, and then the gloves you're allowed to hit in the face, just on your
Fucking
knee.
hell. Yeah,
just
violent. Childhood was
stupid.
violent back in the day. I'm pretty sure kids now are a bit more.
They're all online,
Wary.
I suppose, and watching.
Yeah, just watching murders and shit. Whereas we were doing it. Yeah, things like you used to have. What was that thing? The gauntlet. We used to have a thing called the gauntlet. I think it was called the gauntlet, and it was when you used to have to go down to the pedo teacher's room, where you'd all line up in
Walk
against
past
the
them
wall.
and it was skirt
You'd all
on.
line up against the wall like that, and you'd create a tunnel. There'd be like
Oh,
20
when
people,
you'd- yeah,
and
yeah,
one
yeah,
of you,
the
you
wall
had
of
to run
death.
down it
Yeah.
while everyone
Yeah,
just
yeah,
booting knees, and you'd come out the other end fucked,
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
fucked.
Do you do that thing where you used to post people, like where arm and a leg against a lamppost? I had it done to me once by these older kids, and I'm screaming. I'm saying, because brittle bones was in the news a bit, and I'm like, I got brittle bones, and they all put me down. I just fucking ran off.
Oh man, there was
Smart.
outside where I grew up. There was a lamppost, and for some reason they'd put a wooden bollard next to it, and it created this very tiny gap like that. And my mate Daniel, who was so naughty, he once wedged a kid in it, like properly wedged. The kid couldn't get out. Like, it was so dangerous.
Oh,
He just kept pushing. The kid was screaming,
Yeah.
and Daniel's pushing him in between this gap that was about fucking 4 inches thick, like he was a
Fucking
cat
hell, that
or
kid's probably
something.
got PTSD.
Yeah, definitely.
There's like a period of 6 months where I would only jump down the stairs. I wouldn't walk. I'd only jump down the stairs. But like just one day you do 4 steps, one day you do 5 steps. And in my head I was trying to build up to jumping a whole flight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid.
It's you've got a child.
Yeah, he's one actually. Next.
So what is he
next week.
walking yet?
He cruises, I think it's called.
Right,
He's
okay.
up and he's like,
Yeah.
and but he's very vocal. He shouts.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Because my daughter's 2.5 now, and like we've sort of done that thing of we've got no stair guards or anything like that in
Yeah.
the place. Like we're just trying to.
Have you
be
got
like,
stairs in your place?
Yeah, the new place room
Oh.
upstairs. Yeah, and so like we're just doing that thing of being like, no man, she needs to learn sort of not to just jump
It's just
down
to
the
learn
stairs.
pain.
But there is always that thing of sometimes she loved playing on the top step, sitting there and messing around with toys and stuff. And it is that thing you constantly are watching just with this air of like, oh, she's.
They're
gonna
so
jump down the
rubbery, kids,
stairs.
though. They've bounced down the stairs and like they're a
yeah.
bit bruised, but they're not going to like break their neck.
You know,
I know.
You know,
mean,
Carlos
don't take my
Tevez?
word for that,
Remember-
parents.
Remember the footballer Carlos
Yeah,
Tevez?
yeah.
He had that scarring on his neck.
He did.
here. I think that was from his in Argentina. Kind of, they have like just pots of cooking.
Yes.
And they let the kids go near it once to teach them. Well, that's actually it's heart.
Oh,
and Tevez's one go, I think he leant on it, just splashed all.
oh man.
I cut the
I didn't
TV wire once behind. I went behind the TV when I was about 7 and cut it with like metal scissors.
Yeah.
And I could have been.
Did you get a shock?
No, I didn't. The TV went boom,
Oh man.
and it went off. My mum went livid.
Oh yeah, I'm not surprised. Fuck.
And metal scissors just straight through the fucking metal lead.
Yeah. I definitely. I only had. My mum dislocated my shoulder when I was like 2. It's one of my earliest memories. I don't really have any memories of before about 6. I'm not. Some people remember
What did
like.
you do to deserve that? Did you have a short skirt on? Oh.
No, we were playing and she was swinging me around by my arms.
Yeah.
Oh.
And one of my arms came out, the shoulder socket came out.
Yeah, my sisters used all the time.
And
I've done that to a kid. Threw them on the. I
brutal.
was throwing them on the bed and they landed on their arm.
Oh God.
It wasn't even. It was like my niece.
Oh,
it's
that's the
so
worst.
bad.
When my mum and dad they got divorced, everyone was sounding that. And then I remember my dad got this new car and he was sorting his car out, and he gave my sister both jump leads to hold.
Oh my God.
She had one in one hand, one in the other
Yeah.
hand. And my mum pulled up to pick us up and just saw my sister. She's like, what the fuck?
I don't think that's that high voltage
Yeah,
though, is
yeah.
it? But yeah,
It's
It's
mad.
enough though, isn't it?
it's enough to hurt
Yeah.
probably.
But you catch yourself. Sometimes when you've got a toddler, man, you just turn around.
I'll
and
put
they're
them on
just
my
holding something
balls.
so dangerous. The amount of times I've turned, like, 'cause in the kitchen, we've got this sort of step thing so Twyla can come up and join us. Like, when you're
Cook a
cooking.
dinner.
Yeah.
Well, no, she can play with you and like be part of it and you
Yeah,
involve
yeah.
her. But the amount of times you're cooking and you've got a lot going on, and I'll turn around and she'll just have a kitchen knife in her hand. And I'm like, oh,
Threatening you.
And you're trying to do that thing of not being like, no. You
Yeah.
don't want to put that in their head.
Yeah,
You always want to try and stay calm with toddlers so as not to create an issue. So it's always like, no, let's not play with the knife.
So, somebody just pulled the front of the gas fire off. Like, I didn't even know it come out. I lived there for 6 years. I couldn't have done that if I needed to.
Yeah.
Just
Is his name Sonny?
Sonny,
So,
yeah.
Is that named after Sonny from The Godfather?
Sonny
No,
Liston, Sonny
no.
and Cher.
just like the name.
Just yeah, cool,
Just
yeah.
like the name. I think Richard
the second
Ashcroft's
Sonny
got
I've
it.
heard in a
I
week.
think Richard Ashcroft's son's called
Right.
Sonny. Just
I bumped into Richard
a small
Ashcroft at
name.
the service.
Ironic after that video of his. Do you remember
Oh yeah,
that
yeah.
famous music video? When he's
I actually
bumping into
said to him,
everyone in the street?
yeah.
I said to him about Bittersweet. It was so good, and at that time he was going for a court case. for
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Of all the songs I could have picked,
Shit.
Yeah.
he was a really lovely guy though. I had a
Yeah.
few snaps.
I
down
saw
there.
Ronnie O'Sullivan the other day at services.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want to. He's one of them people.
He's around. I see him. I've seen him a few
You don't
times.
want to kind of. You don't know what kind of mood he's going.
No, he's
Yeah.
quite temperamental,
Yeah,
isn't
but I
he?
really like him.
Oh yeah, he's like. I mean, he's the greatest ever snooker player, isn't
Yeah.
he? But I imagine he's.
Is he the greatest ever? Basically,
I think there's now without doubt. I think
Yeah.
he's become the.
Yeah.
I think before Stephen Hendry was probably the best before Ronnie, and Ronnie's probably been a bit more up and down. But in terms of what he can do,
He's like, and Tyson Fury does this a bit, but he'll just start hating snooker for a bit,
yes,
and but he'll still, because I think he win the world championships like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
and they said to him, "How are you still doing it now?" And he's just like, "The current crop of players are not good.
yeah, he's very.
Yeah, yeah.
These are shit." He just says these are shit.
They are. I mean, I used to be into snooker, but I fell out of sort of love of it's the wrong word, but I used to watch it every year. Watch the World
Yeah.
Championship. It was a real like tradition. And then there's no real characters anymore.
No.
It's all a bit boring. I do like sportsmen who
And
are
also-
well good at something that don't like
And that
it.
says
though.
something, because in snooker you don't even really need to be. If you've got, remember Judd Trump, he just had a
Yeah,
mullet,
yeah.
and he was considered a character. He wasn't doing anything.
or Dennis Taylor with the glasses.
Yeah.
I suppose there is. Yeah, it's probably just us being older and like
Yeah.
I just grew up watching like your fucking Alex Higgins,
Even Jimmy
people.
White and stuff.
Yeah,
and-
Jimmy White.
Yeah, I used to
Jim-
like Ken Doherty. I did.
Jimmy White grew up where I grew up too. And
Mm.
he was our local legend, and like I used to play in the snooker clubs that he played in and all that. And it was.
There's a guy in Atherstone actually, Dave Gilbert. You heard it? So the town I live,
Right,
he's
yeah.
like he plays in the World Championship snooker.
Yeah.
And I think you see him in the pub sometimes playing. You can beat him at pool, not me, but
Really?
if you've got
At Paul, even then, that's impressive.
in a one-half
though.
game. If you're a good pool player and he misses once,
Yeah.
or he just doesn't have a
Well, that's
pot
it.
on. For
Hey,
example.
Paul isn't snooker. Paul
Yeah.
is one of them things where if you're decent, you can just clear up and win quickly.
Yeah. So you can
I,
beat him.
Are you good at pool? You don't strike me as.
I was when I used to go into the pub. Yeah, when I used to drink, we used to play
Yeah.
quite hard.
It's
yeah.
one of them sports where there's that sweet spot of drunkenness.
Mm.
Where
Yeah.
you actually get better at.
If you're
no
playing
other
it every
sport-
day, you're proper gig. You're fit,
Yeah,
aren't you?
yeah.
You're
Yeah,
just
definitely.
slamming.
There's no
it
other
away.
sport I can think of where after like 3 pints you're at your best.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like rugby.
You know what?
Darts.
I'd actually say after snooker, as a complete amateur, it'd probably be like some kind of combat sport.
Oh
I
yeah.
think
yeah.
if
I'm definitely harder
if we did
after a
like
couple of
MMA,
Stellas.
we'd be better off after 3 pints.
If you're a
Yeah,
total
yeah,
novice,
yeah.
definitely just
Yeah.
a bit of confidence, a bit
Yeah.
looser. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? A couple of lines of Boutros.
Bit
Go
braver.
windmilling in, mate. Quality. Yes. Anyway, so what we were talking Christmas, but let's do. You're right. We should do some questions from the group before we forget.
Yeah.
We always forget and end up not getting around to it.
We got our mug for the winner, the patron winner.
Oh, we have, haven't we? We haven't got a sharp.
We've got to find a Sharpie, mate.
You fill time while I find the questions, mate.
Hi, everybody. Is that enough time?
That is not enough time.
Okay.
Keep talking. Keep
Say, how you
talking.
been, Josh? You all right, mate?
This is what happens when Julian has to sort of control the
He'll
conversation.
fill every other silence with a pedo joke, and then when he's given the
but
floor, he just clams up.
The floor is yours.
I can't.
We're actually talking about getting the pedo hunters on. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Your
I
nemesis.
don't know. I
Not
don't
really.
think they'd be. I don't think they'd be very funny.
Sorry to trigger you.
They take themselves very serious.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd be fun though. I had a psychic reading today. That's big news, isn't it?
Did you?
Yeah.
What's that?
I spoke to a psychic today, Anne Josh.
Why?
Just had a Zoom chat with her for about an hour.
For what purpose? Though?
Just to see what's going on.
What's going to be guaning?
What do you mean? We just had a Zoom with a psychic.
Yeah,
you booked a session.
she'll come on the pod.
Do you know
She's-
her?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not like
I
you
don't
had a
know.
session
Well, she's a
booked in.
friend of a friend. She's been a Facebook friend for a long time, but I've never met her. She's very good though.
But what did she tell you?
You won't know if she's any good yet.
Yeah, we'll see if those lottery numbers come in.
What did she tell you?
She just told me a few things. You know what I mean?
Like, could you give us any hints? Give us a sort of very vague, like.
Not really. It was not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel positive?
Good
after?
story, mate.
Do you think they try and send you away feeling positive about the future? Surely they're not going
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I wonder if. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Has anyone ever? There must be occasions. They must do. If I was a psychic and it was all bollocks.
Yeah.
I would. 1 in 3
I
people.
quite like
I'd give a bite. I can't tell you exactly, but I just.
Yeah.
I feel like a duty of care. to
She
not
can
give
more
everything.
do about,
Because
like,
they'll
which-
go away and be like, "Fuck! I think they said there's something bad happening." If
Yeah,
it's all
yeah.
positive, they're going to think it's bullshit.
Yeah.
You got to give them a little.
She can more sort of help you with pathways and should I do this or that and tell you, the vibes and
Yeah.
she could put herself into other people's who you might be dealing with.
Right.
Tell you what's there. You know what I mean? Stuff. It's interesting.
Okay.
I mean, who knows?
But even if you've come away from that feeling good, it doesn't really matter, does it? If you feel
Yeah. Unless it's completely fake good and you're, you know what I mean? You're going to make
Yeah.
a mistake.
Have you ever had like a palm reading or a tarot or any of that stuff?
No, never.
I had a tarot reading once at a festival, and it was it was actually quite good. Some of it was, but it could again. I just think
It can be waffled
I always
a
think
bit.
of it as like cold reading.
Yeah.
Just sort of leading down. And then she also did that. I think this was the moment I walked out feeling like, I don't know if that's a little cynical trick. She sort of went, "Have you got psychic powers?" Like that.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
went, "What?" And she goes, "Oh, no, I just get a weird. I just got a bit of a feeling from it." And obviously in my head I was like, "Well, maybe." Like, I've suddenly got like this ego
You've got to
boost
come
of
back
like.
and pay
Yeah.
her more money.
But then afterwards I was like, "I bet she says that to every."
That's the thing to do. You know,
Prick.
if you're a guitar teacher and someone has the first lesson,
Yeah.
if you say at the end of that lesson, "Oh, people don't usually get that far."
Yeah,
enough," like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
You're like,
It's
"Oh."
such a trick, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so believable when
Yeah.
it's a compliment.
You've got to the point you haven't even picked open the case.
yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
No one's ever got that far.
Yeah. The way
People
you
believe
held it.
compliments so easily.
Been holding it that way up.
Like a violin.
Right, questions. Oh, well, I mean, somebody started with who would you say is the worst person, Carl or Julian? Which is that's a tough question to answer. I think on face to face, just on face value, you'd say Julian, but then you'd, delve deeper, and it's probably me. Somebody's asked about your acting. They said how good you are acting in your videos.
Oh.
Have you ever had acting lessons?
No, I've not had acting lessons. No, and
He's offering his services. This guy. Steiner.
for someone that's never had acting lessons, you should
I mean-
imagine what you could do with acting lessons. Right? Actually do it. We didn't even do drama at my school. There was
Really?
no drama department.
I
no,
didn't.
there's-
We had drama at ours, but I
Yeah.
didn't do it.
And even I would have been too self-conscious to have done.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Same, yeah,
You know,
same.
even in French, if you so much as dare as attempt to,
Yeah.
French
Even when
accent-
you'd had to read a bit of a book out in front of the lesson.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Fuck that.
I had to. I didn't actually end up getting round to it, sadly. But we've talked in the past about doing self tapes and auditions.
yeah,
And I got sent one this week, and it was for a proper film, like
wow,
a Hollywood film, and it was an American accent, and I'd been looking at the lines. I've been trying to work on my accent over the weekend, and I was meant to get it in on a Monday, and basically I couldn't.
Give us a little sample.
I can't remember what the words were, but I'm too self-conscious now. Oh, God.
I think even that. I think they're called lines as well.
Huh?
I think they're called lines.
What did I call it?
Words.
Oh yeah, I learned all
I
the
can't
words.
remember the lyrics to this film.
That's why I'm not getting it wrong. But it is fucking like it is embarrassing. Like acting is embarrassing.
Yeah.
When you actually think about it, you are just pretending.
I think the
I'm
best
better at
actors.
it
I don't
now.
trust them. I think the best actors in the world are like quite empty when you see them actually as themselves.
Yeah. Well, I
They like tell
suppose-
this long anecdote on fucking Conan. You think it's boring,
Yeah,
really.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially the kind of
Not like my strong ones.
yeah.
About my clairvoyant.
We've got to undo a personality to take on another.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing double the work there, aren't you? If you're just a completely empty vessel.
And they're just
Yeah,
really
yeah.
good liars. Like, if you could trust someone who could just cry, you know what I mean? It's like they could just cry quickly.
But it is a learn. It is
Really
a muscle.
believable.
You can learn it. You know, like
Yeah.
You know,
you know-
I've thought about doing acting classes.
Yeah.
Because I do like. I really
I
respect
did it for a
as
while.
an
That's,
art
I'm trying to
form.
treat it with respect.
Yes.
Say, you know, the Jamie. Do you know Jamie D'Souza? Comedian?
Yeah.
He's got a great joke about this acting.
Right.
His agent says, "Cast him. Can you do a casting as somebody that's like the character's like intelligent, handsome, and confident?" And he was like, "Well, if I could act like that, I'd just do that." In
Yeah.
Yeah.
just do that in my day.
Yeah. It's
We're all actors,
mm. But that one was the most nervous I've been trying to do a self-tape in a long time. I'm normally quite chilled with them. Like self-tape, I don't worry about at all because you're in your house on your own with a fucking camera set up.
You know what I get weirdly really nervous for? Do you ever have to do an announcement into an offstage mic
Oh, yeah.
before the
I'm
gig?
good at that. I like doing that.
I get in my own
Same
head
here.
about
I'm
it.
like, what do I say? What do I
Yeah,
say?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't mind that. But yeah. I sort of whenever I do, I've last like sort of over the last 6-7 years, I've done a comedy roadshow in Australia, a Melbourne comedy roadshow, and whenever I tend to be the person to do the offstage announcement
really?
to bring the compere on, just because I'm quite good at going like big, ladies and gentlemen, you know, like actually committing to it. Welcome to tonight's show. You know,
I always feel so self-conscious.
I
Yeah.
find it quite funny. So
I-
they can't see me, so they don't know it's me.
I did like Kevin Bridges was doing these warm-up gigs in Glasgow, and I was in Glasgow, and I got to do 2 of them. And on the first night, I did the offstage announcement, and the second night, they were like,
they dropped you.
I got dropped.
Oh
yeah.
no!
Just a member of bar staff did it instead of a professional.
Someone in the audience.
I'm not going to name the club, but I did a comedy club a couple of months ago, and normally they have, you know, it's normally the sound guy wasn't there who normally does it, and basically the normal sound guy is really good at like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, your host for the evening, and basically the sound guy they had in that night just obviously had never done one before, and he gave it the least, like, I'm not even joking, it was like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, your host, and it was like a room of 300 people.
Yeah.
And it almost ruined the show.
Oh,
in terms of the
massive,
start of the show was crap.
Yeah.
Because there was
it
no.
does make a big difference.
Yeah.
It's as bad as leaving the lights on or.
Yeah.
Even the welcome when they come in the door of the club, I think, is an important one, and it sets the tone.
I worry if if you're starting really late or just anything where they might be a bit pissed off, and you're like, I kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had it at Melbourne Comedy Festival this year.
You have to kind of reference it, don't you?
Yeah.
The room I was meant to be doing for the festival flooded 2 days before the festival, and so me and the people that were doing that room got moved into a room at Melbourne Town Hall, which is actually a really good venue. But because they basically created a new room for the people whose room had flooded, we were on a floor that was technically like the Lord Mayor's floor, because they literally turned the town hall into a venue.
Say mayor.
Is it mayor?
Mayor.
Mayor. I say mayor. Is that wrong? Am I saying it the American way? Fuck. But it's basically on that floor there was very specific rules: no booze.
Wow.
People couldn't bring an anti-alcoholic drink into the show. There was bag searches, because basically it's like an important floor. Like the Lord Mayor's office is like 2 doors down.
Yeah.
So it did for the first, and the security for the first couple of days of the festival were a little bit too heavy-handed with everyone checking their bags. So I noticed my audience were coming in and being a little bit like, they'd had a little bit of a rough entrance to the room.
Yeah, and also it's already been moved venues.
Yeah,
So they've had to receive an email
and then they would get to the venue and find out they couldn't bring a drink in.
Yeah.
Did you bomb?
And no, but what happened is I had to sort of address it at the start of the show, and it also helped that I had a ding dong with the security one on the second night.
Oh,
because
really?
I'd bought some donuts that I was bringing in for the venue staff and myself,
It's nice.
and
of
he
you.
wouldn't let me bring them in. The security was like, "You can't bring them." I was like, "Mate, I'm literally doing my show in that room. I just want to take them backstage."
I am the mayor.
Yeah.
Well, you're not because
I am
it's
the
pronounced
mayor.
He said to me, he goes, "No, you can't take them backstage." I was like, "I'm just going to leave them backstage. I'm going to eat them after the show." He goes, "You can't bring any food or drink into this floor."
Fuck out my way.
And I was literally like, "Mate, I'm doing a show here for a
Yeah.
month. What are you talking
Yeah.
about? I can't
You should
watch."
have said it's about donuts. The show.
That's true. But anyway, so I had a ding dong, and then I'd sort of, luckily, he then got, that security guard moved to a different floor, because we had a proper, we were basically shouting at each other in the hallway before my show.
Yeah.
And about
Good
donuts.
vibes.
Yeah.
And so I ended up having a routine at the top of the show about the sort of the rules, and,
Oh, that's
and it
nice.
put everyone at ease.
Oh,
And
my-
it made
yeah.
me, it
'Cause
made
you were
them
one of
realise
them.
that I was on their
Yeah,
side.
that's
This
right,
wasn't my rules.
Yeah.
This is like,
Yeah.
you know. So, but yes, I don't. What were we talking about that got onto that? Oh, just sort of how an audience enter a room
Yeah.
definitely affects the show.
Yeah.
Somebody's asked a question. Francis, why do comedians so rarely come north of Edinburgh?
North of Edinburgh, I suppose it's a.
Because there's not many gigs, I think.
Yeah.
You know, I think it is.
What is
quite-
north of Edinburgh?
The rest of Scotland. Edinburgh's very south.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
the whole of Scotland is north
Oh,
of
it would
Edinburgh.
be Scotland.
Um,
Aberdeen.
well, I mean,
I've
there
been there once.
People go to
Basically-
Aberdeen sometimes.
Scotland is like, yeah, you've got Edinburgh, Glasgow.
Mm.
That's the main hubs of
Yeah.
comedy. And then Aberdeen's got a couple of things, but it's not much in between.
If you're Edinburgh based, you've got no excuse, though, have you?
No.
No, I mean,
They should be going.
yeah. It is far for us to go, but yeah, I think genuinely it's just because of
It's cold.
right. So who said they want your hair? Oh, Tim has said I want Josh Pugh's hair.
Oh, nice.
If he could
You
tell
send
us
him a
his
little snippet.
product recommendations, please.
Product. Oh, for
What
your
do you
hair.
use?
What you put on it?
I have actually got a tiny technique with this hair,
Yeah.
and it's just
You have it permed every morning.
so I have just a good shower. Good shampoo doesn't work on it. It's got to be proper shit cheap
shampoo.
shower
That's
gel.
the same with me and like hair products, like
Yeah.
the cheapest mousse.
Totally.
Right.
Anything
Yeah.
too good, it almost puts too much.
What shampoo do you use?
Just some Aldi stuff.
Ah,
Yeah.
And what about after that you dry it? You put a product in.
No, nothing.
it's got a
Really?
nice sheen
Yeah.
to it, though.
Have you ever thought about trying sea salt spray?
Yeah, but it's just it just doesn't work.
Okay.
The best, yeah. This is just a genuine chat about.
Yeah, no, because I've when my hair's a bit longer, I like a sea salt spray instead of a.
Yeah.
What, you
like
put
a-
it on your
instead of
hair?
a mousse or
Yeah.
anything like that. If you spray sea salt spray, in
I
it,
was
I
it's-
did
give
a
it
dry
bit of
shampoo
texture.
spray today for the first time.
Isn't that bad for you?
in
I
my life.
read a thing that there's an
I never
ingredient in dry
use it.
shampoo that's bad for you. You shouldn't put it on your skin. Like,
Really?
it's gonna
Oh.
sort of- yeah, it's
I
not
had,
good.
I remember-
It smells nice.
Me and my wife went on holiday last year to Tenerife, and she bought some sea salt shower gel.
Yeah,
I remember being really pissed off. I'm like, we've been in the sea.
yeah. You
Yeah.
washing it off with more sea salt. But yeah, I read it's nice, a sea salt spray.
What you spray it on your
Literally just
hair?
spray it in your hair, and it's basically water with salt in it. And this gives your hair a nice texture, and
Oh.
it's lovely stuff. Lovely.
Have to
We're
get-
quite lucky here, and I think it's not men have a good deal in most things,
Yeah.
but
Mm.
some people you've got like 5 years of good hair. Some people as an adult.
Yeah, I think I've gone
I'd
through
get
so many
implants, I
hairstyles.
think.
Would you? Well, 'cause
Mm.
I'm thin up on the old crown, but I'm quite happy. I'm all right
You
about
suit
it.
You've had a Skinner before, innit?
Yeah, I had a Skinner for years. I had big curly hair. I've had all sorts, but now I feel like it's quite age appropriate. My hair, I feel
Yeah.
quite sort of
Have
like
you
finally
always
like a man,
you always
like a
had,
real
like-
man.
Lovely lot.
I've always had longer hair. I used to straighten it. I used to have a number 2 all over at school,
Ah.
just because my dad would do
Straighten it. What into what shape?
like like emo kind of.
I had a
cross.
bit of that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Fucking hell. Like, yes.
What with like your
Yeah.
mum's straighteners or something?
I had my own straightener.
Oh, really?
And this is when you're so self-conscious when you're a certain age.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember straightening my hair, and then I'd go out to like a bar or a club or something, and if I got my hair started going curly, I'd just go home.
Oh God.
Imagine.
I
being
once
that.
used my mum's
Obviously.
curlers to curl the back of my. I was like about 9.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know what I was going for, but I went in school and it was like curling up, and everyone was like, and I said, "Oh, I just used a hairspray and made it go like that." I was mortified.
Little liar.
I don't know what I was doing.
Had
man.
rollers in. Wow.
Oh, I just fell over into them.
Them spaces between your toes as well.
Somebody's asked, what are your favourite podcasts? I think that's a general question. You don't listen to any, do you?
TVI, I quite like.
Quite like.
It's weird. I don't listen to many podcasts despite doing
I
them.
don't.
No.
I sometimes watch clips of different ones, more like informative. I don't do any comedy ones.
I don't do any comedy.
I might
ones
put
at all.
Opie and Anthony every now and like not anymore, but like I used to do a bit of that.
I listen
Maybe
to it. No, I don't. I used to.
Howard Stern, I used to quite like.
I
It's
kind
not-
of. I did get into a few of the. You know that CEO guy, that Stephen Bartlett.
No.
Oh, I know that name.
But I had to, he was doing it. But I had to stop listening to him.
Why? What is it? All sort of like positive thinking.
Yeah,
shit?
then people.
I'm
just
not
do,
into that
No,
at
I'm not
all.
into it. I'm like, who you? Because they're the first people to crumble as well. in
Like Grant
crisis.
Cardone.
Yeah, there's like
Who's that?
He's like this salesy guy. Like
Yeah.
it's fun. Like
All this personal growth stuff, like, it gets a bit much for me.
Yeah, and it's all just a lot of it's bullshit.